Hello and welcome to Album Facts. Today's album is The Black Crowes' Shake Your Moneymaker. Released in 1990, this was the debut album by the band and was named after the M. Lord James song. Out of all the Crowes albums, this is their biggest selling with over 5 million at this present time. The first track Twice, as hard guitarist Rich Robinson said about the writing the riff. You know, for some reason I can't remember how I wrote it. And I don't remember what guitar I was using. I want to say it was this black Fender Tele Deluxe. I had from the 70s and maybe that was it. Or maybe it was my blonde, 1968 Tele. But I only had like 2 or 3 guitars for that record. So it's kind of one or the other, you know what I mean. The second track, Jealous Again, was the first single the band released from the album. They took Gretchen Wilson to court over copyright for her song Work Hard, Play Harder, and ended up getting writer's credit on the song. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum. Track 6, Hard to Handle, is cover song by 60s soul legend Otis Redding. Both the Crowes and Redding are from the same state, Georgia. Singer Chris Robinson said it was his idea for the Crowes to cover Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, while producer George Draculias recommended the band accelerate Redding's song to an Aerosmith Why Walk This Way pace. Chris said, "Since I was a little kid, I knew who Otis Redding was." Another friend said to me, "You brought Otis Redding to the masses in a way that no one has before." I'm like, what and then? I started thinking about it, and it was like, whoa, we did have the biggest version of Hard to Handle. Part of me feels good about that, and part of me thinks it's a shame that people don't know who Otis Redding is. Track 7, Rich Robinson said the opening car wrecked to thick N. Thin, we actually recorded that. Our drummer Steve Gorman had an old Dodge car, and there was a gigantic industrial rubbish bin. So our engineer held a mic over this trash can, and Steve just kept running into it over and over again. Track 8, She Talks to Angels, was loosely based on a goth girl Chris knew who was a heroin addict. During VH1's The Black Crowes storytellers Chris Robinson explained that this song is not about one person, but rather a hot dog of people that they knew from the Atlanta club scene in their early days. Not all the best part explained Chris, or the best parts for you. Chris says there was always a girl in the club scene back then, with really dark makeup like Susie and the Banshees, and after thinking about her one day, he scribbled the lyric, "She paints her eyes as black as night." He then went on to write an entire biography, which was completely made up, about her in the form of the song. After the final track, there's a secret snippet of a song called Live Too Fast Blues Mercy Sweet Moan. It only plays 1 minute then fades out. The full song could be on bootleg live concert releases. The album was released on American Recordings that was founded by Rick Rubin. The relationship between Rubin and the Black Crowes apparently soured almost immediately when Rubin suggested the band change their name to the Cobb County Crows. The band were insulted by the connection to the Ku Klux Klan and maintained that Rubin had no part in the recording for Shake Your Moneymaker. However, after the album achieved platinum success, Rubin began to include his name in the credits as an executive producer on subsequent pressings. This will tell you where our relationship started and where it ended with American Records. If anyone owns a copy of Shake Your Moneymaker, on the first million pressings of that, Rick's name is not on it, Chris Robinson explained. After we sold our first million records, he put on the top, executive producer, Rick Rubin. Nice. The Black Crowes would release 3 more albums on American Records before jumping to Columbia Records in 1999. The album was produced by George Draculias, who had signed the band and a big influence on them, as he was the first person to play them the Faces and Humble Pie records. It said he also asked the band if they would consider changing their name from Mr. Crow's Garden to the Black Crowes. George would later go on to work with many Peter acts, including Primal Scream and Tom Petty. The famous Crowes logo of the 2 crows drinking and smoking was designed by Alan Forbes. Alan would later go on to work albums covers by AFI Goldfinger, Offspring the Cult, and Chris Robinson Brotherhood, and many others. Thank you for listening Album Facts. What is your favorite song from this album? Do you have any facts that I haven't mentioned in this episode? Please leave your comments below. And like and share this video, and subscribe for upcoming new videos. Thank you.